A man gets looked down on by a wealthy young woman in a lift. Eyeing his scruffy appearance, the girl instinctively backs away. To break the awkward silence, the man takes the initiative and greets her. Hi there, I'm Liu Jun. I just moved in. But the girl still wants nothing to do with him. This neighborhood, after all, is famously one of the most exclusive in the area. The girl simply cannot bring herself to believe that a construction worker would live in a high-end complex. Soon the lift reaches his floor. Watching him step out, the girl finally breathes a sigh of relief. When he gets to the underground car park later to collect his car, he notices that the girl is wearing an identical outfit to his. It all suddenly clicks. The reason the girl in the lift gave him the cold shoulder was that she had mistaken him for a construction worker. As it turns out, the man is no pauper. He is the son of a factory owner through and through, just back from studying in Germany a couple of days ago. His father has been suddenly taken to hospital, gravely ill and unconscious. The family factory is barely holding together, on the verge of collapse. Determined to protect everything his father spent half a lifetime building, the man resolutely takes over the factory. But no sooner has he arrived to assess the situation than he finds himself surrounded by a mob of creditors demanding repayment. Faced with the relentless creditors, strictly speaking, his father's debts are not directly his own responsibility, yet the man still makes them a promise. He asks them to give him 2 days to look into the situation, and if the debts are confirmed, he will make sure every penny is repaid. Anyone can talk a good game. Why should I trust you? Just as the man is about to lose face, his friend steps forward and produces his work ID as a manager at a state-owned enterprise, offering to personally vouch for what the man has said. That is enough to put the creditors' minds at rest. To thank his friend for the generous support, that evening the man takes him out to a bar for a night of celebration. As the two of them are deep in conversation, the man spots a piano on the stage. A passionate pianist himself, he cannot resist going up and playing a piece. His beautiful playing quickly catches the attention of 2 young women. Curious to find out who is at the keys, one of them goes over to introduce herself. Of all the unlikely meetings, it is the same girl from the lift. Making it even more awkward, they are running into each other in a bar. The man's first instinct is to leave, but at his friend's urging, they end up sitting at the same table. The girl's best friend immediately gets ideas. Your friend is quite something. Does he have a girlfriend? He's just come back from Germany. I honestly don't know. Learning that the man works in the same field as her, and that he's a doctoral graduate freshly returned from Germany, the girl is naturally captivated. The construction workers in our complex lately, drinking and brawling, I take the long way round just to avoid them, which is why this morning in the car park I spotted someone wearing the same thing as me. Those few words cleared up the earlier misunderstanding entirely. Seeing how presentable he is, the girl immediately realizes she had no right to judge by appearances. Mr. Lowe, now that you're back home after completing your studies, there must be quite a few broken hearts in Germany. The man, however, mentions that he has a girlfriend in Germany, and that he is only in China for a year before heading back. The girl is a little deflated by this, but she is not the type to give up easily. Later in the conversation, the man also mentions directly that he would love to visit her company for a look around and to learn. He hopes it won't be too much of an inconvenience. Little does either of them know, it is at this very moment that their story truly begins. The very next day, the girl can barely wait to go and speak to her brother, the company chairman, asking if a friend can come and have a look around their factory. Her fiercely protective older brother agrees without a second thought. Tell him to come on over. Bring him yourself. I want to meet this sweetheart of yours in person. Soon, on the day of the visit, the girl has gone to particular lengths with her appearance. Even her brother, the chairman, finds it odd. You normally don't even bother washing your face. What's got into you today? The chairman has already seen straight through his sister's little scheme. Sure enough, the moment the man arrives at the company, the girl dashes back to her office to touch up her makeup, desperate not to make a bad impression. Touch up done, the girl hurries out to welcome him. Mr. Liu, hello? What's all this Mr. Liu business? Miss Lin, so formal. Just use my name. All right then, Liu Jun. Here, your money back. You can't do that. We agreed last time. I was treating, don't worry. I deducted my share of the expenses already, but you left far too much. Even in Germany, no one picks up the tab like that. You clearly don't know how precise Germans are when it comes to splitting the bill. Then you'll have to treat me properly next time. No problem. All the way through, the girl keeps the conversation going. They have barely just met again, and she has already laid the groundwork for the next encounter. Throughout the tour, the girl tags along every step of the way, trying to build a closer bond between them. Seeing that a technician is there to accompany him, the man doesn't particularly want the girl following him around. Really, there's no need. You go and get on with your work. Brushed off, the girl storms away in a huff. She is not upset because he turned her away. What stings is that she had hoped to spend time alone with him, and the technician has gone and ruined it completely. Back in the office, the girl is fuming. Her brother, the chairman, takes one look at her sulky face, and immediately knows exactly what happened. He starts teasing her straight away. This PhD fellow is quite interesting, isn't he? Your makeup today is noticeably heavier than I've ever seen it. Oh, go away, be serious. The moment the tour started, Mr. Liu basically sent me packing. I could hardly shamelessly force myself to trail along, could I? As it turns out, after all these run-ins, he had long since noticed the girl's interest. But right now all he wants is to focus wholeheartedly on turning the factory around. He has no headspace for romance. Little does he know he will soon be running into her again. One day the man brings his friend to the workshop floor. The moment they walk in, a serious problem is apparent. The workshop is filthy and chaotic. Metal shavings piled on the floor with nobody clearing them. In the manufacturing plants he worked in Germany, the floors were spotlessly clean. As a senior engineer trained in Germany, the man also identifies numerous management and technical problems. To get a faster grip on the factory's situation, he seeks out one of the old-timers to get the full picture. What he learns is a surprise. 6 months ago, a major client came to the factory. His father, dazzled by the high profit margins, signed the contract on impulse. But it turned out their technology and equipment were nowhere near up to standard. Not only did the finished products fail quality inspection, the stress of it all is what landed his father in hospital. The delivery deadline is less than a month away. If they cannot deliver acceptable products, the factory faces a crippling penalty clause, and the factory will shut down for good. The deadline on this order is next month. If you can't deliver, even if your dad threw in every last thing he owns, it might still not cover it. It's that deep a hole. Is it really that serious? What about bankruptcy and liquidation? How am I supposed to answer that? Nobody has worked out the exact numbers. The man's heart sinks as he hears all this. For a moment he is at a loss, but determined to find a way through. He takes the technical drawings and studies them carefully. He quickly realizes that the technical problem the old-timer described is no big deal to him at all. From that day on, he throws himself into working on the machine tools, determined to find a way to bring the factory's equipment precision up a whole level at minimal cost. And so, the man begins burning the midnight oil every night. He makes a private vow to make something of this, and see his family turn their fortunes around completely. Not long after, his father wakes up. His mind is still clear, but his mobility is limited. He therefore decides to formally hand the factory over to his son to run. Meanwhile, the girl realizes she hasn't seen the man in quite some time. Through the technician, she learns what he has been going through lately. Knowing they work in the same field, she thinks perhaps she can give him a hand, and that in doing so she might grow closer to him as well. Having never been one to give up easily, she goes to call on him the very next day. As it happens, his father is home at the time. The father assumes the girl is someone pursuing his son, and greets her warmly. I'm here to see Ajun. Why have you come? Miss Lin? I've heard so much about you. Our Ajun mentions you all the time. You rascal? Quite the talent, aren't you? Ha, so, is now a good time to talk? Of course, come in and sit down. Ajun will be right out. Better a close neighbor than a distant relative, they say. Young lady, didn't you arrange to meet someone? When did I arrange anything?
You did?